Well, there's some breaking news over this late spring weekend, and that is that Arch Manning is going to be taking his official visit to Georgia coming up very soon. That's the first weekend of June, according to some reporting from 24/7, and that's going to be June 4th. Excuse me, yes, June 4th, weekend of June 4th, and then he's going to head to Alabama the weekend after that, which is the 11th, and then Texas on the 18th. And so we're really at go time for Georgia, Arch Manning, and the whole thing that's going on for him and his recruiting process. We're later in a season than you typically would be for a quarterback committing. But as we saw with Justin Fields in 2000, what was that, 2018, you can get highly touted, very skilled first round draft pick quarterbacks. They can pick late in the process. You know, Justin was committed to Penn State for a long time before backing away and eventually signing with Georgia. Um, and now we're at the critical moment again, as I say, for Kirby and everybody in Athens regarding Arch Manning. I mean, he's been in Athens a lot, particularly for a guy who's from as far away as New Orleans. Your real competition right now seems to be Texas, more than Alabama, but this is the moment where you make your decision. Um, and Georgia being I right now positioned between Texas and Alabama, it means that they've got some work to do. I will add that although these are really important moments in a recruiting cycle for a particular player, committing or visits are one thing, committing is another, signing is the big thing, and that won't really happen until December. I do think what happens at Texas this fall will matter. I mean, Steve Sarkisian uh, is needs to have a good fall, generally speaking. Whether that involves Arch Manning's decision going one way or the other or not, I don't know. But I mean, I think if he is leaning into this thing and takes these visits, thinks about it, commits to Texas this summer, and then the Horns have a pretty good fall, then that's where he'll go. But if they don't, I think that all bets are off. And then there is no guarantee that Texas will have a good fall. And they have proven time and again that they know how to not have good falls. Hey, make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you're checking it out. That's the number one way that you can support this channel. It helps us do the things that we're doing. You know, if Arch Manning commits to the Dogs, I can assure you we will be flying out to New Orleans more than a couple of times to go see him play. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I try to be as forward with y'all and direct as possible about what's going on, what we hear behind the scenes, etc. We felt like Dog Post that there was a time at which Georgia was in the lead for him, or at least you know at the top in the lead, however you want to describe it. We don't feel like that's been the case now lately. With that said, we are entering the pivotal stretch here. These official visits will be make or break, I think, because they always are. Generally speaking, they always are. They give you the ability to if you want to roll out a red carpet, if you want to roll out a burnt orange carpet or a crimson carpet, you can do that. If that's not the right path, you don't have to do that either. But this is the moment at which you have complete autonomy with what you can do while that prospect is on your campus. You know, is Georgia going to say there's still questions here? I mean, is Georgia going to say we just want Arch that weekend? We don't want anybody else on campus. That doesn't seem like their style. I mean, that's not the way that they've been over time, and it would be a little bit weird, to be honest with you. We've also seen the focus of officials shifting more and more to the summer. You know, June and July in the recruiting world are not at all like they used to be. They're much more important. Um, so I think, for Georgia, the way I look at it is as follows. Georgia does not have to sign Arch Manning to win the national championship, right? I mean, we've got a walk-on quarterback who played exceptional football in that time who went on to win the national championship for Georgia in Stetson Bennett. You don't have to have any one player, but if that any one player is the best prospect or one of the best prospects in the country, that's a really good thing. Um, I think that uh, Todd Monken's system I mean, he's got a lot of experience in the league. He's got experience quite clearly as a college coordinator at a very high level. He could do some real damage with Arch Manning. Um, but the three guys on campus right now are not slouches, just like the guys at Alabama are not slouches. Those programs will survive with or without Arch Manning. I don't know if Texas will. I mean, we're getting into an Isaiah Crowell, Jacob Eason situation at Texas, where everybody at those places is gonna look at this class right now and look at Sarkisian and say, he's got to have this guy. 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 There's nothing we can do. We got to have this guy. That's not a great position for a program to be in. I mean, you want the whole program to be healthy, honestly. And I'm not, I don't care if you're the Mannings and you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, Texas really needs him in a way that these other schools don't. That's a double-edged sword. No matter where Arch Manning goes to school, he's got his last name. No matter where he goes, he is who he is. He can't escape that. Where makes the most sense for him to be comfortable, to have the right college experience, to not have the burden exclusively on him. That's the question. That's the question I would be asking. Where can I go to get myself ready for the league, to develop, to have a halfway normal college experience? And at these three places, that's going to be challenging because anywhere that would be challenging. And, you know, at the end of the day, where do I want to go? Where am I the most comfortable? And if that's Austin, he needs to go to Texas. If that's Athens, he needs to go to Georgia. If that's T-Town, he needs to go to Alabama. But this is a tricky one for sure. The poor kid can't do anything about what his last name is. This would be bad no matter what, because what I mean bad is the expectations and the stupidity of it all. This would be bad no matter what, just because of how gifted he is. But that he's got the last name he's got makes it even worse. I mean, I don't. They shouldn't feel bad for the Mannings, but in this particular case, this is a challenging thing for Cooper and Arch. I mean, he's been named after a Hall of Fame NFL quarterback. If his grandfather alone was, there would be a big deal just with that. But that he's got these two famous uncles who have got 4 Super Bowls combined. I don't know what to say about it other than he needs to go where the best fit is for him. What is the best fit for him? Where is he the most comfortable while he's on campus? Not what's got the best NIL possible. That's going to be not a problem. What has, you know, this, that, and it's none of that. It's where is the best fit for your kid? Where's the best fit for me if I'm him? That is not, it is for me. I had to go to a lot of different places until I found the right place for me. And when I found it, I just knew, and I knew pretty much immediately. And by the time I left campus, that was the place I wanted to go. And that's the place I went, and it shaped the rest of my life. Um, and he's got to find that place. But he will visit Georgia first, and then he will go to Alabama. Let's see, Georgia, then Alabama, then Texas. So Texas is in the pole position, really, being the last one. Alabama's in the worst spot because they're in the middle. But if you're them, you can fly one way to Georgia, then Alabama, and then Texas, and then go back home. You don't have to do all this zipping back and forth. Um, but they're flying, so it's not that big of a deal one way or the other. Thanks for checking us out and watching us. Make sure you're going over to the website to find out more.